Triple Crown. And just like the first two races, this is always a party for the...
Thank you.
Ahmed.
All right, thank you, Brittany. Fausto is 1-for-1 in this race with Letruska last year. How about the 3 in Malapat, Randy?
So at 4-5 and 3-1,
Thank you, Don Rob.
chance to run down Letruska. Malapat 7-for-9 lifetime. Not always that visually impressive. She doesn't sometimes give you that wow.
The horses are now on the track for the running of our first race today, the first of 7, over a distance of about 5.5 furlongs. Number 1 is Top Dog, owned by Connor House, Nelly Pajot, the trainer. Orlando Foster is doing the riding. Number 2 is Touch of Power, owned by Charnet Jen S. Mann. Jesse Menike is the trainer. Garfield Gordon doing the riding. Number 3, Stalwart Boy, is owned by Jug Handle Ranch Thoroughbreds. Darcy Smith, the trainer. Ryan Nelson in the saddle. Number 4 is Corky, owned and trained by Bill C. Schmidt. Corky will be ridden this afternoon by Trevor Simpson. And number 5 is Wendy Schramsberg. Jim Depew is the owner-trainer. Juan Ampango is the jockey. Race number 1, over a distance of about 5.5 furlongs. Post time will be in approximately 9 minutes. And we urge you to place your bets early to avoid being shut off at the pari-mutuel windows. Thank you.
She finished 4th. Letruska was...
Now? Well, Anna found the hotel on her usual website. Laura, on the other hand, used Trivago to compare offers from major booking sites and found a great deal. Something tells me Anna will be using Trivago next time. Hotel? Trivago.
Germs invade through your nose, the body's air filter. But how do you clean it? Navage uses powered suction to help flush out congestion, allergens, mucus, and viruses. Millions use drug-free Navage to breathe better and feel healthier. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Browsing the web without NordVPN could mean sharing your personal data with more people than you think. Get NordVPN and protect your sensitive data from being spied on. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
It's the late show at BC Place once again.
Going into this race, Clairiere
The horses are now being loaded. Number 1 in the gate.
ahead of her, and all 4 times they run against each other. But Asmussen said that he thinks that Clairiere is bigger, stronger, faster as a 4-year-old, and I think she should.
Number 2 moving into position.
Jockey's Matter guy, right? This is the first time Joel Rosario has been on Clairiere.
There's the 3 horse.
Finish.
4 moving up, waiting on number 5.
Weakness at the Kentucky Derby may not be a better jockey going in the sport right now. So here are the payouts to that race. If you had Clairiere, congratulations. 9-2. Malapat finishing 2nd, 3-1. Search results going off at 5.
5 acting up just a bit.
You liked it for a while. Not at the end. But it looked good.
Now into the gate. They're at the post.
Start, 'cause that looked good for a good chunk of that race. Moving on now, our next live race. That's
They're off. Race number 1 over distance, about 5.5 furlongs. Coming down the long chute towards the grandstand. The leader up through the middle is Touch of Power and Stalwart Boy battling for the lead. Tight group as they come in front of the grandstand.
while we wait, we're going to turn our attention to the featured race, the 150.
As they hit the turn, Corky is the leader. Second, we have Stalwart Boy on the outside. Touch of Power is running third. Then we have Top Doc and Wendy Schramsberg. As they go around that turn onto the backstretch, Corky the leader, Wendy Schramsberg in second spot. Then we have Touch of Power, Top Doc, and trailing is Stalwart Boy. It's still Corky the leader by a head over Wendy Schramsberg as they round that turn. It's still on the inside, Corky the leader by a full length now. Moving up in the 3rd spot on the rail is Top Doc. 4th spot we have Touch of Power. Out of the turn, the race for the wire, Corky is the leader. In the 2nd spot on the rail now, we have Top Doc, and 3rd spot is Wendy Schramsberg. Then it's Touch of Power, and at the wire, Corky, Top Doc, Wendy Schramsberg. Results of race number 1 are unofficial. Please hang on to your pari-mutuel tickets until they have been declared official. Thank you.
He was last after the first quarter mile, ended up finishing 6th at Churchill Downs. So those are the 8 horses trying to navigate Big Sandy here today, and here's how they are being bet so far. Perhaps a little surprising. We the People was the morning line favorite. Currently, he is at 6-1. The fourth choice, Mo Donegal, at 5-2. Rich Strike is back at 7-2. And we welcome you in studio for the first time. We are here in suits and ties. Here's the evidence of that. Ahmed Fareed with Randy Moss and Hall of Fame jockey Jerry Bailey. Good to see you guys for the final jewel of the Triple Crown. And I'm glad to say we have the Kentucky Derby winner here for it. Decided to skip the Preakness, but they said they were coming back to the Belmont, and here they are.
After pulling a Muhammad Ali, he shook up the world in the Kentucky Derby. Now, why did he skip the Preakness?
Unofficial results, race number 1, the winner, number 4, Corky. Finishing second, the number 1 horse, Top Doc. Third at the wire was number 5, Wendy Schramsberg, and finishing fourth, Touch of Power, the number 2 horse. Unofficial.
3 weeks to settle down after a race and kind of get his mojo back. So he's pretty confident now that Rich Strike is going to be back running the same kind of a race as he ran in the Kentucky Derby. Whether that's good enough, we'll see.
So a lot of people out there watched the Kentucky Derby and saw what he did there against a 20-horse field, 19 other horses. Here you come here at the Belmont, shorter field. People probably thinking, can he do the same thing?
Yeah, but he's going to be missing one of the crucial elements, the element that helped him win the Kentucky Derby, and that's a fast early pace. When they go fast early, the front runners slow down late, and for a closer like Rich Strike, it helps him catch up. The Belmont, even though it's a mile and a half and it's much longer, isn't a race for closers because they generally go much slower early in the race, which makes it harder for closers to catch up.
Running time for our first race, 109.78. Running time, 109.78. Simpson in the saddle. Unofficial winner, race number 1, the number 4 horse, Corky.
The biggest one, at least for this weekend. He's won it 3 times. He's got the rhythm of how to run the Derby, skip the Preakness, and then come back and win in the Belmont. Mo Donegal is built for this kind of race, and his filly Nest, she can certainly get the distance as well.
Yeah, as you can see, plenty to talk about in this.
Results now official. The winner was number 4, Corky. Finishing second, the number 1 horse, Top Doc. Third at the wire was number 5, Wendy Schramsberg, and finishing fourth, number 2, Touch of Power. Official, the winner, number 4, Corky.
The Source, of course. Where can you find the latest tech and network advice to help it perform at its best? The Source, of course.
Germs invade through your nose, the body's air filter. But how do you clean it? Navage uses powered suction to help flush out congestion, allergens, mucus, and viruses. Millions use drug-free Navage to breathe better and feel healthier. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
It's the Nashville Hot Chicken from Burger King. With tangy pickles, crispy seasoned chicken, and a layer of spice so deep you can see it. Bold, delicious flavor. Get your Nashville Hot Chicken today, only at Burger King.
Men put their skin through a lot, day in, day out. That's why Dove Men Body Wash has skin-strengthening moisturizers that help rebuild your dry skin. Dove Men Plus Care. Smoother, healthier looking skin.
Here are the prices the horses paid. Number 4, Corky, paid $360 to win, $290 to place, $220 to show. Top Doc played $12.10 to place, $5.10 to show. Number 5, Wendy Schramsberg, paid $220. The Exactor paid $46.70. The Try paid $54.20. Again, Corky paid $360, $290, $220. Top Doc paid $12.10, $5.10. Wendy Schramsberg paid $220. Race number 1.
You've waited all week for this. Give your lawn the ProGrade treatment with ProGrade tools. Take on mowing with Works Nitro 40-volt mower. Unlock gas-like power to run longer and mow farther without the noise and hassle of gas. And when you're done, use the same PowerShare batteries to power your collection of Works and Works Nitro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rocky Mountain Turf Club is looking for Dachshund Wiener dogs, Yorkies and Poms, to enter some races here at the Rocky Mountain Turf Club. There will be prizes, cash prizes, trophies, doggy fashion show for the best derby outfit. If you have a dog or know someone that would like to enter their puppy, you can call or email Rose Rossi. Her telephone number and email address are in the program. Again, looking for Dachshund Wiener dogs, Yorkies and Poms to enter some races here at the Rocky Mountain Turf Club. If you're interested, contact Rose Rossi. Her phone number and email address are in the program.
fancy hat is optional, binoculars essential. And as a jockey, this race is one of a kind, pays to have some experience on this track. And for more on that, we send it back to Brittany.
Well, Ahmed, the Belmont Stakes isn't always kind to newcomers. Known as a rider's race, a challenging distance over the unique course that you mentioned that most of these jockeys will ride only a handful of times, if ever, in their career. So this year's Kentucky Derby winning jockey Sonny Leone is hoping for a little beginner's luck. Yesterday was his very first mount at Belmont Park. Today, his first ride in the Belmont Stakes and first time at a 1.5-mile distance. I spoke to him earlier about his takeaway after getting around this Belmont Oval, and he said simply, it's big. That turn is huge. You have to wait. And wait he shall aboard Rich Strike. New to the scene, but not new to the saddle. Sonny Leone is here today to prove that Rich Strike's victory was not a fluke, and he can surely ride with the best of them. Ahmed?
All right, thank you, Brittany. So Sonny Leone, not a whole lot of experience, just one race on the dirt track, but he has identified that it is big, and that's an important step, right, Sherry?
So look at experience. Yes, that is the most
first step.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, experience matters in the Belmont, especially riding it, and because it's the turns that are so vast that matter. The biggest mistake riders make is moving too soon because they don't know how far they are from the wire. You don't even know you're turning sometimes. They're so gradual. I like to put it, in, Randy asked this, in traffic terms. First of all, let's pretend you do something every day, something you drive every day. You go to work. You know the routine. You can drink your coffee, you can talk on the phone, you can eat your muffin, whatever, and you just end up at work because you do it every day. That's the local riders, riding at the track every day. And then you go to a place that you never have been before or only once a year ago, and you need to watch the signs, the street signs, the exit signs. That's the ship-in riders. And when they get in the middle of the turn, stuff happens. Like when you're driving, if the phone rings or you're changing the radio station, you all of a sudden look up and say, did I pass my exit? Was it the street back there? Is the street coming up? These things happen to riders within the race. They get boxed in, so they're looking at these horses, and they're looking at heels, and they forget about looking at the marker poles, and they forget where they are, and you can move too early. And it happened in 2009 with Calvin Burrell on Mind That Bird. I mean, he is the guy in the Hall of Fame. He just won the Derby and the Preakness that year, the Derby on Mind That Bird. And here's the middle of the turn, and he's already moving. This is a horse similar to Rich Strike that comes from last. And here he is approaching the top of the stretch. He's head-to-head for the lead, where in the Kentucky Derby, he was 7 lengths farther back. So he's way closer in the Belmont than he was in the Kentucky Derby. Now, it looks like he's going to win, but because Calvin moved too early in the race, too early in the turn, he starts getting tired to the stretch. Now, Calvin had won, as I said, the Derby and the Preakness, so he was in the best form of his career. He's a Hall of Fame rider. This was the only race he ran at Belmont this weekend.
You're going to need some help. I'm going to need someone to cover my morning classes. We wouldn't like our chances.
The horses are on the track for the running of race number 2 over a distance of about 5.5 furlongs. The number 1 horse, Bob Is My Ride, is owned by Max Gibb. Lyle Magnuson, the trainer, Jose Rocha doing the riding. Number 2, Imperial Go Boy, owned by Diana Page and Norman Young. Gail McConaughey is the trainer, Orlando Foster in the irons. Number 3, Regalo de Caladad, is owned by Allison Clapton. Allison does the training. Blandford Stewart doing the riding. Number 4, Equivocator, owned and trained by Lyle Magnuson. Laris Allen is in the saddle. Number 5 is Just Louis, owned by Doug Ladiseur and Karen McCowan. Doug Ladiseur is the trainer. Lorena Bugeaud is doing the riding. Number 6, Arctic Rain, owned by Calvin Callahoo and Dave and Dakota Ramsenkar. Ryan Nelson is in the saddle. Race number 2, over a distance of 5.5 furlongs. Post time will be approximately 8 minutes. Post time approximately 8 minutes.
But for you personally, what does this meeting mean? Why do you want to go over there and run your horses?
I mean, I think Royal Ascot is probably the pinnacle when it comes to racing events. It's so beautiful, the pageantry of it all. I mean, I have to put a top hat on. I don't look good in a top hat.
Be approximately 2 minutes. Post time approximately 2 minutes. We urge you to place your wagers early and avoid being shut off at the parimutuel windows. Race number 2.
So good is the former gray runner who's gotten a little light in color, but is
faster. So will one of these three grandsons, be able to carry on this amazing tradition and step up for another big hit for Tappett's bloodline here in the Belmont, Ahmed?
Oh, back when it all began, we the people actually got some video as a foal sent to us by the family at Henley Farms. In fact, he was their first foal. Been a bit of a handful, as Randy mentioned, but you wouldn't know it from this video.
My running coach is in my ear.
My Wi-Fi signal works out here.
Where'd you get your gaming gear? The source. Of course. Where can you find the latest?
The horses are moving into the starting gate. Number 2's loaded. The one horse moving into position. Number 4 moves up.
Little Caesars new Chicago-style pizza is loaded with toppings. On toppings. On toppings. New fully loaded Chicago-style pizza only at Little Caesars. Chicago.
Men, are you urinating more often? Are you
There comes the 3 horse. Waiting on 5 and 6. 6 moves in, just the 5 horse to come.
the brand recommended most by real urologists? It's the fastest growing prostate supplement in Canada because it's proven to help you reduce the extra bathroom trips and take back control. Get urologist recommended Super Beta Prostate.
And 5 is in. They're at the post. They're off. Race number 2 over just about 5.5 furlongs as they come down that long chute towards the grandstand up through the middle of the pack. Equivocator. Now on the outside is Just Louis. Just Louis, Equivocator. Regalo de Caladad on there, all bunched up now, moving down towards the first turn. Just Louis is the leader. Regalo de Caladad is in second spot along the rail. Third, we have Bob Is My Ride. It's Just Louis, the leader, as they go through that turn and now onto the backstretch. Regalo de Caladad is in second spot on the outside. Then we have Arctic Rain, followed up by Bob Is My Ride. Down that backstretch, it's still Just Louis, the leader, in second spot. Now being challenged is Regalo de Caladad. On the outside challenging is Bob Is My Ride. Bob Is My Ride moves up in the second spot. Now challenging Just Louis for the lead. Just Louis on the inside, and Bob Is My Ride battling for the lead. Bob Is My Ride appears to have a slight advantage. Now Just Louis moves. It's going to be very close at the wire. Wow, hang on. Just Louis. Bob Is My Ride. And, as expected, a photo finish. Please hang on to your pari-mutuel tickets until the results have been declared official. Thank you.
So he should get kind of a perfect trip.
So that is the 5, Arrest Me Red, as we said, the 4 in Casa Creed, the defending winner of this race, actually his most recent win, too, on a 5-race losing streak since then.
And he's 2 for 2 at Belmont Park in sprint races. That's his specialty.
Let's go through the field here. The 1, change of control, last time out was nipped at the wire in the Unbridled Sydney Stakes at Churchill Downs. Manny Franco is aboard. The 2 is Omaha City. His 2 wins and 17 career starts. He was 3rd his last time out. It was an allowance race at Gulfstream Park. He is a long shot in this race.
The 3 True Valor surprised Graham Motion last time after a 13-month layoff by actually going to the early lead and winning a small stakes at Laurel. He's 12-1 right now with Fergal Lynch. And the 4, there's your defending champ Casa Creed, coming off back-to-back races overseas in Saudi Arabia and Dubai, which he was beaten.
Running time, race number 2, 109.97. 109.97 running time for race number 2. Unofficial finish. Number 1, Bob Is My Ride, the unofficial winner. Finishing second, the number 5 horse, Just Louis. Third at the wire, number 3, Regalo de Caladad. And finishing fourth, the number 6 horse, Arctic Rain. Unofficial.
Lucas undercard in the turf sprint there at Pimlico at 5 furlongs at odds of 9-1 behind Carotari Junior Alvarado in the saddle.
He should be attending the pace pretty closely. Number 12 is Gear Jockey. He's another one that comes out of the Churchill Downs Sprint on Derby weekend. He had a ton of trouble that day. He got forced wide. He's reunited with jockey Jose Loscano, who's won on this horse twice.
And on the outside, Gregorian Chant has had 4 starts at this distance on turf. He's won 3 of them. He was in this race last year, finishing 7th. So that is the field. Costa Creed, the returning winner of this race, and with more on his chances here today, let's get it to Kenny.
I'm with the co-owners, Leon Seidler and Mike Francesa. Gentlemen, thanks for your time. I'll let you get out there right quick. Let me ask you about...
Moving into the winner's circle, our unofficial winner of race number 2. Number 1, Bob Is My Ride, owned by Max Gibb, Lyle Magnuson, the trainer, and Jose Rocha doing the riding. Unofficial winner. Race number 2, the number 1 horse, Bob Is My Ride. And the results are now official. The winner, number 1, Bob Is My Ride. Finishing second, the number 4 horse, Just Louis. Third at the wire, number 3, Regalo de Calidad. And finishing fourth, the number 6 horse, Arctic Rain.
All right, thank you, Kenny. Thousands of people doing their Mike Francesa impression as we speak. Matt, how you seeing this one?
I'm going to go back to one of my old friends, Ahmed. That's Gear Jockey. Gear Jockey's most recent run, Jerry alluded to it. He ran in the Churchill Downs turf sprint, and it was just a miserable trip. Early on, he's forwardly placed. He has to steady, makes a bit of a middle move, rounding the far turn, and flattened out down the lane. All things considered, I think it was a much better race than maybe it looks on paper. And he's a horse getting back out to 6 furlongs. I think this is really what he wants to do. He's not a 5-furlong burner. He's not a miler at heart. He's 6 or 7 furlongs. He gets 6 furlongs to work with here this afternoon. And one other point, Ahmed, to bring up. He's reunited with Jose Loscano. Loscano's been aboard for almost all of the best races of this horse's career. Certain riders fit certain horses better than others. I think that's the exact situation we've got here with Gear Jockey this afternoon.
All right, the pick by Matt, Gear Jockey, banking on that being the case here today. A 6-furlong sprint. Blink and it's over. A $400,000 race. A ticket to the Breeders' Cup on the line in this one as well. It's next.
The prices the horses paid. Bob Is My Ride, the winner, paid $520, $320, $210. Just Louis paid $570, $250. The Equivocator paid $2.10. The Exact paid $420, $40.20. The Try paid $57.80. Again, Bob Is My Ride paid $520, $320, $210. Just Louis paid $570, $250. Equivocator paid $210. Race number 2, all official. Race number 3 is the Larry Snyder Memorial Race. Larry will always be remembered and sadly missed here at the Rocky Mountain Turf Club. Again, the third race upcoming is the Larry Snyder Memorial Race. Thank you.
Energy and aging on your terms. Get clinically proven ageless male and be the man you want to be.
Using Wi-Fi without NordVPN could mean sharing your private stuff with more people than you think. Get NordVPN and encrypt your internet connection. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
Need to feed your crew, but short on time? Whatever you need, get it delivered fast 24/7 from your neighborhood 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven! Get 7-Eleven delivered fast 24/7 or order ahead for pickup. 7-Eleven, here for you in the neighborhood.
Really good day for racing out at Belmont Park. That's exactly what we have for you here on CNBC. Just minutes away from the $400,000 Jaipur Stakes. A win and you're in. The Breeders' Cup this fall. Crowded field. You see 13 horses. Final look at the odds of this one. Casa Creed, the winner from last year. You heard the owners talking previously. 4-1. The second choice, 2. Arrest Me Red, the 5 last time out. Won the Grade 2 Twin Spires Turf Sprint on Oaks Day at Churchill Downs. And is trained by Wesley Ward, and standing by with him is Brittany.
Ahmed, thank you so much. Joined by trainer Wesley Ward. Arrest Me Red. He's been a force since coming into your barn, but what about him strikes you as a Grade 1 winner?
Well, let's see in a couple of minutes, and hopefully he is. But he's doing really well. He had a beautiful win there on Belmont Day, or on Derby weekend, and it kind of leads into this race. And his first work back, you could tell that race took a little bit out of him, and his neck work was better, and his last work here on the track at Belmont was great. So we're looking forward to it.
I take that great from you and run with that. Okay, you are leaving in about 2 hours to head over to England for Royal Ascot. How strong is your team this year?
We look good this year. We got some live ones, especially opening day. That'll sort of set the stage as to how we do with Golden Pal. So I'm really excited.
Well, good luck with all of your runners, Wesley.
Thank you very much.
Golden Pal Breeders' Cup winner who did say that is the best horse he has ever trained.
Huge praise from Wesley Ward, who's trained a lot of really good ones, including Arrest Me Red here today.
Yeah, so he mentioned the win at Churchill Downs on Derby weekend. I had mentioned it earlier myself. And so let's take a look at that race. He won not because of this trip, but he won in spite of this trip. It was a scrum coming down the stretch on the backside into the far turn. There were 8 abreast at one point. You can see them highlighted. That's Gear Jockey in the black. That's Arrest Me Red in the blue cap left of Gear Jockey. Gear Jockey gets squeezed first. And then Arrest Me Red, from the outside they're pushing in, from the inside they're pushing out. He gets shaved a little bit right there. Both horses recover in time to get in a position, but the position is very wide. Arrest Me Red is at least 3 or 4 wide. A Gear Jockey's even wider than that. Arrest Me Red kicks clear through the stretch. A huge effort by him. And even Gear Jockey, who took the worst of it going in that turn, rallies to finish in a photo for second. So both of these horses should have a cleaner trip today.
All right, 9 career starts for Arrest Me Red, 6 wins, looking for a 7th today. Last time that Casa Creed won was right here in this race last year.
Yeah, and if you want to know why he's the second favorite here behind Arrest Me Red, just take a look at last year's Jaipur. He was extremely impressive coming down the stretch. He had been running in longer races at a mile, and we heard it was Mike Francesa's idea to back him up to a sprint. Bill Mott went along with it, and he won back-to-back sprints. First the Elusive Quality at Belmont, and look at him come rolling on the outside to win this race in what I think still remains the best race in his career. If you want a further reason to root for him, we heard from co-owner Lee Einsedler, who co-founded Casamigos Tequila with George Clooney. Anytime you talk tequila, you got my attention.
Yeah, and George Clooney, too. He can raise some eyebrows, too. So that is Casa Creed. That is the winner from last year. Now, you mentioned Gear Jockey with Arrest Me Red there. Gear Jockey is the 12 in this one, was in the Breeders' Cup already, 6th in last year's Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint.
So we saw the trouble he just got into with the wide trip, getting squeezed into the far turn. He's had a lot of trouble in his last several races, actually. But with the 12 post today, I think he actually gets a really, really good trip. So he's going to break. He's got tactical speed. He shouldn't be more than 4 or 5 lengths off the lead. And his jockey, Jose Loscano, who won on him here at Belmont, can just take his time as they go down that long backstretch at Belmont, and then he'll just drift in and find a spot that he likes behind the first flight of horses, more than likely. So he'll have an outside-ish trip, but he probably won't be more than 2 or 3 wide going into that first turn, and then he can just ease him out when they straighten out for home, and if he's good enough to run him down, then he'll do so. He will be probably getting first jump on Casa Creed, so he'll have competition from behind. He'll have to catch the horses in front, but I do think he actually gets a pretty good trip.
So coming from the outside, the 12 in Gear Jockey. One spot outside of him is the 13 in Gregorian Chant. Was actually in this race last year, finished 7th, hoping for a better result this year.
Yeah, there's a reason to like him and a reason not to like him in here. First of all, the reason to like him. You saw the turf sprint at Churchill Downs. It was a cavalry charge up front, like 7 horses across the track right there close to the lead. Gregorian Chant in that race had post number 1, and he was just about a length and a half back. Right.
Jaipur last year, lost 5 races in a row, comes back, wins it again.
Yeah, he wasn't as far back early as he was today.
The horses are now coming on the track for the running of our 3rd race, the Larry Schneider Memorial Race. Larry, always remembered and sadly missed here at the Rocky Mountain Turf Club. Number 1 is Rockstar Red, owned and trained by Bill C. Schmidt, Laris Allen in the saddle. Number 2, Buyer Decree, owned and Ruth Snyder and Corey Snyder. Corey does the training. Ryan Nelson in the saddle. Number 3, Dancing Zazinga, owned by Derek G. Fox, Tony Fox, and Terry Lynn Fox. Travis Robson, the trainer. Jose Rocha in the irons. Number 4, Finders Keepers, is owned and trained by Travis Robson. Juan Jose Apango is in the saddle. And number 5, Wild Star, is owned and trained by Jocelyn Giesbrecht, Orlando Foster, the jockey. Race number 3, the Larry Snyder Memorial. And we've got ourselves about 7 minutes to post time. Approximately 7 minutes to post time.
Not out of disrespect, but this shocked that America's horse Smarty Jones finally lost. But it was really a great run and a great Belmont memory for me. What about you, Brittany?
Kenny, how lucky am I? My very first Triple Crown experience resulted in a Triple Crown victory. Undefeated Justify was looking to become the 13th Triple Crown winner. Here at Belmont Stakes, the grandstand was absolutely buzzing, and I was positioned right next to owner Kenny Trout and his wife as they were loading into the starting gate. You would not imagine the roar of the crowd as he crossed the wire.
Horses now moving into the starting gate. Number 1 in position. The 2-horse moves up. 3 is on its way. Waiting for 4 and 5. Number 4 moves into the gate. There's number 5 moving in. They're at the post. They're off. Race number 3, the Larry Snyder Memorial. As they come down that chute towards the grandstand, Finders Keepers. Up through the middle there now we have Dancing Zazinga. Finders Keepers on the outside. On the rail we've got Rockstar Red. It's Dancing Zazinga and Finders Keepers battling for the lead. Third spot, Rockstar Red. Then we have Wild Star trailing as Buyer Decree. Into the turn on the inside, Dancing Zazinga the leader. Second on the outside, Finders Keepers. And third spot, Rockstar Red. Through the turn, it's still Dancing Zazinga the leader by about a half a length. In second spot, Finders Keepers. Third and moving up is Rockstar Red. Then we have Wild Star and trailing is Buyer Decree. It's still Dancing Zazinga and Finders Keepers battling for the lead as they hit that turn. On the inside, Dancing Zazinga the leader by about a half length. Finders Keepers in second. Third, it's Rockstar Red. Then we have Wild Star trailing Buyer Decree. Out of the turn, the race for the wire. Dancing Zazinga is opening up that big lead. Dancing Zazinga and Finders Keepers of the wire. Dancing Zazinga, Finders Keepers, Rockstar Red, Wild Star, and trailing Buyer Decree. Results unofficial. Please hang on to your pari-mutuel tickets until they have been declared official. Thank you.
Here, I think Matt is 17 years old, if the math works out correctly there. 2007 graduate. Hard to top the Triple Crown winners, of course.
Sure. I mean, we were there for American Pharaoh and 3 years later there for Justify, right? But I also covered the Belmont Stakes in 1987, 1989, 1990, 97, 98, 99, 2002, 2004, 2008, and 2014 when the Derby and Preakness winner was beaten going for the Triple Crown in the Belmont Stakes. And Kenny Rice talked about 2004 with Smarty Jones. That was especially memorable because not only did the crowd...
Unofficial, the winner, number 3, Dancing Zazinga. Finishing in second spot, number 4, Finders Keepers. Third at the wire, number 1, Rockstar Red. And finishing fourth, number 5, Wild Star. Results of race number 3, the Larry Snyder Memorial, unofficial at the moment.
That often included many high-quality, very tasty crew meals at King Umberto's. That might be one of the things we're going to miss the most. We got Santos inside there pouring some drinks. You never left there hungry, well-fed at King Umberto's. We appreciate all the kind service throughout the years. Goodbye for now.
I kind of just want fries.
McCain Super Fries. Golden, crispy, delicious. Fries versus everything.
On June 22nd, you're doing more than just eating fresh. You're helping...
Number 3, Dancing Zazinga, owned by Derek Fox, Tony Fox, and Terry Lynn Fox. Dancing Zazinga is the winner of the Larry Snyder Memorial, and it's official. And we'd like to welcome members of the family and express our condolences.
wasn't expecting that. It was
literally the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It was such a scene, but I looked pretty hot.
so hot. I mean, the look on his face.
You really missed out on the best time of
Running time for our third race, 1 minute 10.65. 1:10.65.
Browsing the web without NordVPN could mean sharing your personal data with more people than you think. Get NordVPN and protect your sensitive data from being spied on. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
My running coach is in my ear.
My Wi-Fi signal works out here.
The source. Of course. Where can you find the latest tech and network advice to help it perform at its best? The source. Of course.
Nice hat. Was it hard escaping Jurassic Park?
Roast Battle Canada returns.
Damn!
The judges are jacked.
You have all the charm of an ovarian cyst.
Gross and accurate.
In a war of words, who will get iced?
Thank you, Ellen DeGeneres.
Who will get burned?
Andrew has what he thinks is a comb over. Buddy, hand in the comb. It's over.
Comedy duels that burn. Roast Battle Canada. New season starts June 13th on CTV Comedy Channel.
I need your team.
King feels it is time for you to get married.
You think I've ever got what I wanted?
You're a princess.
Exactly.
I'm auditioning for some new girls.
Let's go, y'all.
Why risk your marriage?
Because it's the truth.
Ride or die.
I think he wants us to win the World Cup.
I'll do it.
Okay. Thanks, lunch lady.
There are prices. Number 3, Dancing Zizinga paid $4.80, $2.50, $2.10. Finders Keepers paid $2.10, $2.10. Rockstar Red also paid $2.10. The Daily Double paid $10.40. The Exactor paid $5.50 and the Try paid $14.10. Dancing Zizinga paid $4.80, $2.50, $2.10. Finders Keepers paid $2.10 to place, $2.10 to show. Rockstar Red paid $2.10. Race number 3, the Larry Snyder Memorial.
I mean, we are not, definitely not in the game. I mean, we just try to ride on race. I try to be a little aggressive, sit second. We went a little fast earlier, but just got caught in late on the race. But
A reminder, today is the running of the Belmont Stakes. You're certainly invited to stay around. The Belmont Stakes part of the Kentucky Derby and Triple Crown. Belmont Stakes part of that Triple Crown. Invited to stay around later. Thank you.
And incredibly successful careers both of you have had. So yes, brothers, yes, competitors, but you're so familiar with the New York circuit and the Belmont Stakes in particular, both having won it. How much does that experience over this track in that race help you later today?
honestly, I've been riding here my whole career. Honestly, I've been like 11 years riding here. I love this track. I know him well. I ride here every day, every single day. So obviously, I know a little bit get advantage, but I mean, he helped me a lot. Give me some confidence to be home, and I'm home. I'm home.
And just quickly, he's riding Mo Donegal. Used to ride Ness. Did he give you any tips?
He did, yeah. We ride for the same trainer. Ripoli also got a piece on Ness. So, yeah, he shared some tips, and yeah, hopefully we run good.
All right, well, best of luck to you both. Again, in that starting gate, all bets are off, guys.
Thank you, Brittany. So IRAD will be aboard Mo Donegal. And Randy, if you had told people before the Kentucky Derby it's going to be a fast pace, it's going to be set up perfectly for a closer, a lot of people would have thought Mo Donegal would be that closer.
There would have been a stampede to the windows if you would have known it was going to be a radioactive pace and a horse would come from 15th at the quarter pole to win it. But Mo Donegal, he was fanned wide at the top of the stretch, about 9 or 10 wide, wound up finishing 5th. But Pletcher, his trainer, concedes that even with a better trip, he probably would have finished 2nd behind Rich Strike. The key here is going to be, can he be closer to the pace? Pletcher thinks he can, but Pletcher also points out something that Jerry and I noticed talking to all these trainers. They kind of concede that we, the people, is going to set the pace. All the rest of them, pretty much, want to be either 2nd or 3rd behind we, the people. It's going to be very crowded with people wanting to be 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, could be looking looking far ahead for we the people, too. All right, so how about the lone filly in the field, Ness?
She's one of them that wants to be second or third. Gets a new rider, obviously, in Jose Ortiz. Brittany just pointed that out. But she actually has the ability, because of her past performances and where she's been in other races like the Ashland, to be fairly forward. And if she's not, she can make the early move. Like in the Ashland, she was about 5 or 6 lengths off the lead down the backside, and the pace was not to her liking. So her rider, Irad Ortiz Jr., decided to pull the trigger, make the move. And she certainly responded, circling horses and drawing a bead on the leader. She made the lead at the top of the stretch, and then she drew off. She won with so much easier. She was just geared down at the wire. So, and asking Todd Fletcher to compare her to Rags to Riches, his other filly that won the Belmont, he said Rags to Riches was elite. This filly is very good, but Rags to Riches was elite. He does think she has enough improvement, though, to be a contender here.
I like Nest a little better than I like Mo Donegal, but Irad Ortiz picked Mo Donegal over Nest, so we'll see if he's right.
Nest making her Triple Crown debut, but some of these other horses we have seen before, like Creative Minister just 3 weeks ago at the Preakness, with more on him. We send it back to Kenny.
Ahmed, thank you. There is no trainer in the Belmont Stakes today that can relate more to the 80-1 long shot that is Rich Strike in the Derby than Kenny McPeek, the trainer of Creative Minister. It was 20 years ago that he brought Sarava in here to the Belmont, and his 71 pulled the upset. And that 70-1 is still the longest shot to ever win this race. Now you
got confidence now, and Eric Reed has a few more cameras around him than he did 5 weeks ago. All right, so Matt, what do we think from 80-1 to 7-2?
The horses are now coming on the track for the running of race number 4. It's over a distance of about 5 furlongs. Number 1 is Poker Table. Jim Depew, the owner-trainer. Juan Apango is in the saddle. Number 2, Bozer, is owned and trained by Ellie Rutherford. Orlando Foster in the irons. Number 3, Cyclone Dan. Lee Cockrum, the owner. Godfrey Weaselhead is the trainer, and Ryan Nelson is doing the riding. Number 4, Crown Ruler, owned by Gary Marks. Gary does the training. Trevor Simpson will be doing the riding. Number 5, AZ Rules. Jacqueline Smith, the owner-trainer. Laris Allen riding. And number 6, Formal Tux, owned by Andre Peugeot. Nellie Peugeot, the trainer. Blandford Stewart doing the riding. Race number 4, over a distance of about 5 furlongs. Post time will be in approximately 9 minutes. Post time approximately 9 minutes. Or post time here at the Rocky Mountain Turf Club approximately 2 minutes. Race number 4, post time approximately 2 minutes.
Of course. This is not a basketball net. This is not a drill. And this is not a stand mixer. It's how the Harpers turn downtime into together time. And this is not just any loyalty program. It's one made for them.
The number 1 horse is loaded. Number 4 is in the gate.
Browsing the web without NordVPN could mean sharing your personal data with more people than you think. Get NordVPN and
5 is in position. 3 moves in. Looks like we're waiting on 2 and 6. 2 moves in. Waiting on the 6 horse. 6 is loaded. They're at the post. They're off. Race number 4 over a distance of about 5 furlongs. As they come in front of the grandstand. On the outside, AZ Rule stakes the lead. In the middle, we got Crown Ruler. AZ Rule as they hit that turn. AZ Rules is the leader. Second along the rail, we've got Bozer. AZ Rules, Bozer. And then it's Crown Ruler. And on the outside in 4th spot is Formal Tux. Out of the turn now in the race down the backstretch. AZ Rules is the leader. In 2nd spot on the rail, Bozer. 3rd in the outside, and moving now in the 2nd spot is Formal Tux. It's still AZ Rules as they go down that backstretch. Hitting the turn, AZ Rules. Out in front by about 3 over Formal Tux. Then we have Bozer. On the inside there we have Poker Table. As they come out of the turn, AZ Rules is still the leader by about 5. In 2nd spot, along the rail, we've got ourselves Bozer and Formal Tux battling for that 2nd spot. Bozer now moves up. At the wire, AZ Rules, Bozer, Formal Tux, And the stewards have called for a photo. And we're going to have the stewards tell me a look at the start of the race. So hang on to your pari-mutuel tickets until the results have been declared official. The stewards are having a look at the start of the race.
Way back there in third. This is just a tour de force. Fastest Beyer speed figure of the last couple of years, 118. Unbelievable. The reason this horse has only run 3 times, he had a gruesome cut on his hind end as a 2-year-old. He had a foot abscess, a bout of colic, strained hock, but he has overcome it all to come into here as the most exciting horse right now, I think, in the country.
3 career starts that combined 37.5 lengths in victories there. Let's get it to Brittany.
With trainer John Sadler. Flavien Prat just given the leg up aboard your very talented flight line. You have trained many champions in your career, but in terms of raw ability and talent, where does Flightline rank?
Number 1.
Why is that?
He's just a fast horse and a good horse. Never had one like him.
How do you manage expectations with a horse of that talent?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of expectations. You know, we're being very aggressive. We're flying across country.
Again, hang on to your pari-mutuel tickets. A steward's inquiry.
We think he is. He'll come through.
I was just speaking to Costaronis, part owner of Flightline, and he said to me, I can't breathe, but other than that, I'm good. Where are your nerves at?
Same place.
But does he give
If I don't have a stroke, I'll be fine.
Well, we don't want that to happen, but he gives you the confidence that he can get this done today?
Oh, I think so. He's had a lot of training. He's fit. You know, Flavien's going to have to work out a trip, but we got one of the best.
Running time, race number 4, 59:26. Running time for our 4th race, 59:26. Unofficial winner, number 5, AZ Rules. Finishing second, the number 2 horse, Bozer.
Speaker's Corner is the best miler, probably the best older horse on the East Coast this year. In any other year, the Met Mile, he would probably be the favorite. He's 3 for 3 this year, including the Carter Handicap in his last out. Look at how quickly he draws away from his competition in the stretch. He wins with pretty much ease. He's only hand-ridden through the stretch. He has a little speed himself. He's not Flightline fast, but I can't imagine that Bill Mott, the trainer, or Junior Alvarado, the rider, will let Flightline get away from them too far if they can do anything about it at all. Here's the negative for Speaker's Corner. He carries 1 pound more than Flightline in this race. So
Unofficial results, number 5, AZ Rules. The winner, number 2, Bozer, finished second. Number 6, Formal Tux, finished third. Unofficially, and finishing 4th, the number 1 horse, Poker Table.
We haven't even talked about him yet. This is the first time we mentioned his name, really. He was obviously a very talented horse in his own right, but 3rd billing.
There is the 3 in Aloha West, and we're going to see these horses again. We saw Aloha West in the Breeders' Cup last year. Could see Flightline perhaps in the Classic this year. And so let's go through the 5-horse field. The aforementioned Flightline is trainer John Sadler saying after his last dominant win, quote, "This is not an ordinary horse. It's like being the high school coach of LeBron." That is the 1 in Flightline. The 2, Speaker's Corner, as Jerry mentioned, a perfect 3 for 3 this year. Has won 6 of his last 8 starts. Trained by the Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott, who has never won the Met Mile in his career.
So Aloha West, after upsetting Jackie's Warrior to win the Breeders' Cup Sprint last fall at odds of 11-1, came back last.
In our winner's circle, the unofficial winner of race number 4, the number 5 horse, AZ Rules, owned and trained by Jacqueline Smith, Laris Allen, doing the riding. Unofficial, number 5, AZ Rules.
Hoping that there'll be a speed duel between Flightline and Speaker's Corner that'll be suicidal and help set it up for Happy Saver.
And rounding out the field is number 5, Informant. He's never even run in a Grade 1 stake. He's 1 for 5 in graded races. Almost a year ago to the day, he shocked Monmouth Park fans, winning at 79-1 in the Salvatore Mile. But since then, he's beaten almost 100 lengths in his 7 races, so he is a rank outsider.
So that is the field, some fast horses, but on paper, Randy, these are the fastest.
This is why Bill Mott refers to this as a heavyweight championship bout. Since September 5th of last year, Flightliners are in the 2 fastest Beyer speed figures. Speaker's Corner actually ties with Flightline in his Carter Handicap. So look at below him. Nick Sco and Hot Rod Charlie. These are a couple of really fast horses.
So Flightline, you've got the second choice there. Yes, Speaker's Corner, think? 5-horse field, but high quality.
Yeah, I mean, look, quality off the charts in this race, Ahmed. Unfortunately, from a gambling standpoint, if it's not Flightline, I think it's Speaker's Corner. If it's not Speaker's Corner, I think it's Flightline. I'm going to go with Flightline for the reasons that Jerry and Randy alluded to. Purely from a
Looks like we've got a candy scramble happening. Are we going to do another broomstick cowboy race?
to Jerry's point, arguably the best horse on the East Coast. I just don't know if he has that kind of early foot that Flightline does. And I guess bigger.
Looks like another broomstick cowboy race.
Flightline is a genuinely special talent in here. Put him up there with the likes of Arrowgate and Gun Runner and American Pharaoh and some of the numbers we saw from Justified. Flightline's best may still be to come. Hopefully we see him a few more times this year.
Could his best come here again today in one of the country's most prestigious races? That is the $1 million Met Mile. Next, live right here on CNBC.
My running coach is in my ear.
My Wi-Fi signal works out here.
Where'd you get your gaming gear? The source, of course.
I can't believe how good this sounds.
You can just put those boxes down.
Who helped you turn all this around?
The source, of course.
Where can you find the latest tech and network advice to help it perform at its best? The Source, of course.
It's time again for the three-legged ponies. I'll remind all the contestants the race starts when I say they're off. No head starts.
Germs inflate through your nose, the body's air filter. But how do you clean it? Navage uses powered suction to help flush out congestion, allergens, mucus, and viruses. Millions use drug-free Navage to breathe better and feel healthier. Navage.
Unofficially, the number 2 horse finishing second has been disqualified and placed 4th. So the unofficial finish, number 5, AZ Rules the winner. Number 6 finishing second. Finishing third, the number 1 horse, and the number 2 horse disqualified and placed 4th. They're off. And the gray cap is still repeating. Going to win hands down. The results are now official. The winner was number 5, AZ Rules, finishing second. The number 6 horse, Formal Tux. Third at the wire was number 1, Poker Table, and placed 4th. The number 2 horse, Bozer. It's official. The winner, number 5, AZ Rules. Finishing second, number 6, Formal Tux. Third was number 1, Poker Table, and placed 4th. Number 2, Bozer.
So here are the odds, a final look. 1-2 is the favorite in Flightline. Speaker's Corner there, second choice at 3-1. Happy Saver 6-1. Aloha West 9-1. Informative, the long shot 5 of 5 at 19-1. So let's start with the 1 here, Jerry. Anything that could get Flightline beat today.
Well, look, he's clearly the most impressive horse in the country. I mean, I was looking forward to this race as much or more than the Belmont Stakes today. The question is, how fast is he? We really don't know. Can he run faster than he's been running? I mean, his rider hasn't been asking him, but a lot of times horses will run as fast as they can on their own. And when you drop their head and really ask them, they're not that much faster. I mean, he's never been tested. We don't know. He'll be tested today. Speaker's Corner is a really good horse, but it is a new track. It is a different surface in the West Coast, so there are still a couple of questions. But, yeah, he is definitely the horse to beat.
Also the longest distance that he has raced in his career here today. For Flightline, not a whole lot of races in his career. We'll see if he can keep that perfect record or if Speaker's Corner can catch him.
The three-legged pony races are so popular, we've got another heat.
He's still 2 or 3 lengths faster on numbers than Speaker's Corner, but Speaker's Corner is certainly no slouch. And when we analyze these races, we always just assume that the horses are going to break well. I mean, we don't know if Flightline is going to break well.
And they're off.
Might be kind of slow today. Same with Speaker's Corner. It'll be interesting to see, though, how much
And the gray cap appears to have early speed and late speed. There are the prices the horses paid. AZ Rules paid $5.10 to win, $3.10 to place, $2.20 to show. Formal Tux paid $9.40 to place, $3.90 to show. Poker Table paid $2.40. The Exactor paid $36.50. The Try paid $93.40. AZ Rules paid $5.10, $3.10, $2.20. Formal Tux paid $9.40, $3.90. And Poker Table paid $2.40. Race number 4. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you're reminded that you're welcome to hang around to watch the Belmont Stakes after our races today. And, of course, we've got racing again tomorrow and then the following weekend. And don't forget, Sunday, June 19th is Father's Day. There'll be special menus and special activities, so a great way to spend part of Father's Day with your dad.
He's the Breeders' Cup Sprint winner last year, but he's a come-from-behind sprinter to me. You know, he needs the fast early pace, which he will get that, but he's never been beyond 7 furlongs himself, so he's stretching out to a mile for the very first time. And when you get a horse that's a true come-from-behind sprinter, they have that brilliant late kick. When you start stretching them out to a mile or beyond, that kick becomes more timid. It's not nearly as flashy. So can he have that same finishing flurry that he has going 6 and 7 furlongs at a mile?
Todd Pletcher decided to give the 4 and Happy Saver a chance in this one. He's been pretty good at Belmont in his career, 3 for 4.
Yeah, he's kind of a blue-collar horse. He's by Super Saver, who's a Kentucky Derby winner for Pletcher, but not a real, high-profile stallion. But Happy Saver's just been remarkably consistent throughout his career. In his last race in the Ali Sheep at Churchill Downs, I thought was really good. He was second to Olympiad, another horse trained by Belmont, despite running wide on both turns. He was 3 wide on both turns. It was head-and-head at the 8th pole. He hadn't run all year, so maybe we thought he got a little tired the last part of the race. But if there is a pace battle up front, I think Happy Saver's probably the most likely one to pick up the pieces. And look, we talk a lot about how good these two horses are. Don't forget, Pletcher's also the trainer of a horse named Life is Good, who he's got in his barn, who is arguably as fast, maybe, as either Flightline or Speaker's Corner that we'll see later.
We were both hoping earlier in the season that these two, that Life is Good would be in here as well to see actually who's the better horse between he and Flightline.
A lot of the superstar horses, you talk about breeding rights, and that's such a huge topic in horse racing right now. Flight lines could be in the tens of millions of dollars if you listen to the Connections talk about it. And another chance to prove today the superior quality of this horse in this short field, but a high-quality field. Speaker's Corner going in.
This is going to be fascinating. I can't wait to see what happens.
Aloha West. So the 129th running of the Met Mile with the call. We get it back to Larry Collins.
I agree, Randy. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. Informative as Mark come up to the outside stall. Long shot in the field. Comes up and goes in. All in line. Ready for the start. They're off in the Met Mile. Flightline did not break all that well, but he will be sent to the front inside of Speaker's Corner, and he didn't get through there. And Speaker's Corner is going to grab the lead. Flightline's going to have to sit.
Okay, Sweet Tooth. Looks like Candy Scramble time. Follow Rose, she knows the way. Candy Scramble time. Sponsored by Gibb Orthodontics.
They went 22.78 seconds, and Speaker's Corner leads by a length and a half. Flightline is allowed to settle now in second as they race toward that half-mile pole. Happy Saver is on the outside of Aloha West, the Breeders' Cup winner, and then Informative, the trailer. Advantage Speaker's Corner as they make their way around the turn. Flightline is 3/4 of a length behind. The half-mile was 45.01 seconds, and the two of them race onto the far turn, and there goes Flightline now. Flightline makes his move, just
good as it gets. The rail was not working for Flightline outside. No problem. I can confirm during that race.
The horses are now coming on the track for the running of race number 5. The number 1 horse, Turnaround. Lyle Magnuson is the owner-trainer. Laris Allen is doing the riding. Number 2, Nolan Littlebear owns and trains Remarkable Vintage. Juan Jose Apango is in the saddle. Number 3, Doc Ross, owned by Lynette Braun. Nelly Peugeot, the trainer. Orlando Foster is the jockey. Number 4, Bull Time, owned by Daniel and Connie Oberholzer. Daniel is the trainer. Ryan Nelson is in the saddle. Number 5, Roman Steele, owned by Jason Coney. Jason does the training. Trevor Simpson doing the riding. Race number 5 over a distance about 7 furlongs. Post time will be approximately 7 minutes. Post time approximately 7 minutes.
Ran on a racetrack that's a lot deeper than the one he's accustomed to out in California. And then this happens. This is a recipe for defeat if you've ever seen one. And yet Flightline just pours it on and leaves a really talented horse in Speaker's Corner in his wake at the quarter pole. This is just an exceptional performance.
The trainer, John Sadler, alive and well and breathing and with Brittany.
Oh, and he's getting high fives. Congratulations from everybody. A sensational performance from Flightline. But, John, what did we just witness?
Where's Anastasi?
He's getting plenty of congratulations, and understandably so. Also here is Costa Runners. Don't run away from me, Costa. You had told me prior to this race that you could not breathe. Put into words what you're feeling now.
No, we're just so happy. He proved himself. Different track, travel, going a mile in the dirt. He did all the things he needed to do today.
Congratulations, John. I'm going to walk with you.
Okay.
What did we just witness from Flightline?
Well, I mean, a great horse overcoming adversity. You know, he didn't break, and then they
2 minutes.
I know the odds are really long at 79-1, but what have we learned about the Derby? You never know.
I didn't think he would win the race. I thought he could win the race.
As they race by us for the first time, it will be Summers tomorrow to lead the way.
The horses are being loaded. Number 1 moves into the gate.
That opening half mile was blazing fast.
I said, Sonny, if you could turn for home with 6 or 7 in front of you, you could win.
Now Epicenter is moving up quickly.
He's exactly where you had envisioned it and felt like he was good.
The 3 horse moving into position.
I lost Richie. I could not see him anywhere.
There goes the 2 horse. Number 4 moves up, and they're at the post.
The last one I expected to be making that late move was Rich Strike.
They're off. Race number 5 over distance of 7 furlongs. As they go down that backstretch, breaking to the lead in the outside is Roman Steele. Roman Steele is the leader as they go down. Bull Time is in second spot. Third along the rail, we have Doc Ross. As they hit the turn, Roman Steele out in front by 3. Bull Time is in second spot. Then we have Doc Ross, followed up by Turnaround, and trailing is Remarkable Vintage. On to the straightaway again. Roman Steele, the leader, in second spot. Bull Time. Third is Doc Ross. As they go in front of the grandstand, it's still Roman Steele, the leader. Hitting the turn, Roman Steele out in front by 5 over Bull Time. Then we have ourselves Doc Ross, Turnaround, and trailing is Remarkable Vintage. Out of the turn now onto that straightaway, we have Roman Steele, the leader, but gaining in the second spot is Bull Time. In third spot, we've got Doc Ross. Down that backstretch, it's still Roman Steele leading. Bull Time in second spot. Doc Ross is third. Out of the turn, Roman Steele is still out in front by 3. Bull Time is in second spot. Challenging now for second spot is Doc Ross on the outside. Coming out of the turn, it's still Roman Steele, the leader, and a battle for second spot between Bull Time and Doc Ross. Doc Ross on the outside now, moving up to challenge for the lead. At the wire, it's going to be Doc Ross, Roman Steele, and Turnaround. Great finish Hang on to your pari-mutuel tickets until results have been declared official. Thank you.
Both Derby and the Belmont after skipping the Preakness. How about some more history to see if that happens and all the lead up to the race? It's time to switch over to NBC. Mike Tirico takes over for me. Enjoy our coverage of the final jewel of this year's Triple Crown.
Hello, Canada. Hockey? Love it. And now I got something you're going to love. The Epson EcoTank printer. No more expensive cartridges. Slapshot. The Epson EcoTank. Just fill and chill.
This is Sapporo, where influences blend, cultures connect, and Japanese artistry and Western tradition converge. You too can discover the remarkable, where East meets West.
What's on the menu today? Your credit card details. Enter that code. No.
Running time, race number 5, 1:27:18. Running time, race number 5, 1:27:18. Unofficial, the winner.
What if I could hail a ride with my phone?
What if the future of banking wasn't a bank? Neo Financial. It's time for new.
I had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word here.
We want the truth, Neo.
Moving into our winner's circle, the unofficial winner of race number 5, the number 3 horse, Doc Ross. Doc Ross, owned by Lynette Braun, Nellie Peugeot, the trainer, and Orlando Foster, the riding. Results are now official. The winner, number 3, Doc Ross in the winner's circle. Official, number 5, Roman Steele finished second. Number 1, Turnaround finished third, and fourth of the wire, number 4, Bull Time. Results official.
But you might say these guys did it backwards.
Oh my goodness! The longest shot has won the Kentucky Derby.
5 weeks ago in Kentucky, they went from pretty much anonymous horsemen to the very top of the racing world.
Rick Strike has done it in a stunning, unbelievable upset.
And while for the connections of Rich Strike, the aftermath had to be truly dizzying. It wasn't, as it turns out, disorienting. Not for a man like Eric Reed, who spent his life training horses, and who decided to hold his champion back from a Triple Crown bid, despite the disappointment it left many of us feeling. And yet this whole time, this stage that never sleeps, this track that can put you on top of the heap, was beckoning. So when Rich Strike arrived at Belmont Park a few days ago, he was squarely in the glare of the spotlight. And now this race will offer this.
Here are the prices for race number 5. Number 3, Doc Ross, paid $10.90. $6.50 to place, $3.10 to show. Roman Steele paid $6.30 to place, $3.20 to show. Turnaround paid $2.10. The Exactor paid $57.40. The Tri paid $114.70. Again, Doc Ross paid $10.90, $6.50, $3.10. Roman Steele paid $6.30, $3.20. Turnaround paid $2.10.
It's the 154th Belmont Stakes. And that is the
Racing again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget Sunday, June 19th. That's a week tomorrow, Father's Day. There will be a special menu and special activities. So it's a great way to spend part of the day with your dad. And don't forget that the Rocky Mountain Turf Club is looking for Dachshund Wiener dogs, Yorkies, and Poms. They're going to do some doggy races here at the Rocky Mountain Turf Club. There will be prizes and trophies, also a doggy fashion show with the best derby outfit. All the information is in the program. If you're interested, contact Rose Rossi. Her telephone number and email are in the program. Thank you.
For the 154th running of the Belmont Stakes. Let's take our first look at the odds. 8 horses in the Belmont, and the odds are topped by Mo Donegal at 5-2. Some thought that Mo Donegal would be the favorite when we came on the air ahead of We the People, who was the morning line choice, but is now the number 4 choice at 5-1. Rich Strike is the second choice at 7-2, 3.5 to 1. On the scene at Belmont Park, Brittany Urton and Kenny Rice at a place that Kenny has seen its fair share of horse racing history.
Oh, it certainly has, Mike. And, you know, this is a city where in a New York minute, a star can be born. Well, here at the track in 2.5 minutes, a horse can race to glory, solidify his position in history, and for the rare few, become immortal. Secretariat. Close your eyes, and for a moment there, you can see that 31-length dominance. This race has been the punctuation mark for 13 Triple Crown winners. It's doubtful that the horses today in the Belmont will ever run at the 1.5 mile distance again. That's what makes it special. Has for a century and a half. It's about endurance, strength, stamina, and timing. That all adds up to be one tough race. But this is New York. It's supposed to be tough. And of course, you know what that means. Whoever comes out on top in this race, well, they are indeed special. Let's go to Brittany Urton.
Special, Kenny, because it's not easy. The sheer size and scope of this place is enough to intimidate. I'll put it bluntly. It is massive. 445 acres, enough to give Daytona a run for its money. But how does the size factor into the race? Well, it makes riding it tough because this far turn behind me is tough to gauge. It goes on forever. Experience is a plus, but for many of these jockeys, experience is limited or non-existent. Even the most seasoned of riders can be fooled by that turn. But remember, they call it the test of the champion, and that's for good reason. Mike?
Absolutely, Britt. We'll talk about that turn a lot as we go through in our commentary leading up to the Belmont. We welcome you inside our NBC Sports studio. Mike Tirico, our horse racing analyst, Randy Moss, two-time winner of the Belmont Hall of Fame jockey, Jerry Bailey. Guys, 5 weeks ago, Rich Strike in the incredible stretch run wins the Kentucky Derby. We're all still shaking our heads about the historic upset. Then he skips the Preakness. Finally, we get to see him again. We want to know, what does he have? Was it real? Can he duplicate the performance, Jerry?
Well, on that day, it was a perfect day for Rich Strike. He got an insanely fast pace early in the race, which is critical for a closer. He had a perfect ride. He ran the race of his life, but that very one thing that went in his favor, the fast pace, is going to be non-existent in the Belmont. So it's a totally different race for him today.
And that's why he's a bet against for a seasoned horse player, because he's going to have things completely different today in the Belmont Stakes. But still, it wasn't a fluke that he won the Kentucky Derby. He's way back in the pack early, super fast pace. But if you had told anybody that the pace was going to be that fast, they would have thought Mo Donegal would win. He was back with Mo Donegal and outran
today at Belmont. You've been following along in our coverage on CNBC. You saw the Ogden Phipps and Clairiere, ridden by Joel Rosario, beat Malathaat. Didn't get caught up in a very hot early pace and hangs on for the victory. That books Clairiere a spot in the Breeders' Cup Distaff in November. In the Jaipur, Casa Creed.
Horses are now coming on the track for the running of race number 6. It's over a distance of 7 furlongs. Number 1 is Burnin' Pockets. Crystal House, the owner, Nellie Peugeot, the trainer, and Orlando Foster is doing the riding. Number 2 is Preacher Brown. Lyle Magnuson, the owner-trainer, Laris Allen in the saddle. Number 3, American League, owned by Colt Brown. John P. Brown is the trainer. Blanford Stewart is the jockey. Number 4, Racing Ray, owned by Elaine Edwards. Jason Coney, the trainer. Trevor Simpson riding. And number 5, Proof It, owned and trained by Clinton Rycroft, ridden by Jose Rocha. Number 6, a distance of about 7 furlongs. Post time will be in approximately 8 minutes. Post time approximately 8 minutes.
And we take a peek at the odds. I want to point out Mo Donegal at the top there at 5-2 and Nest.
Everyone's getting into throwback.
Wow, that sounds great.
The fun stuff. The binge stuff. The free stuff.
What?
The number 2 horse is moved into position. Number 3 is loaded. The 4 horse is on its way. Waiting on 1 and 5. There comes the 1 horse, followed by the 5 horse. And they're at the post. 5 still moving around. They're at the post. They're off. Race number 6 over distance, 7 furlongs. Breaking up through the middle there, we have American League. American League is the leader. On the middle there is Racing Ray. And on the outside we have Proof It. As they go down that back stretch, on the rail it's American League, the leader. Proof It is second on the outside, followed up by Racing Ray, Preacher Brown, and trailing is Burnin' Pockets. Out of the turn and in front of the grandstand, we've got American League, the leader. Second on the outside is Proof It. In third spot, Preacher Brown. Then we have Racing Ray and Burnin' Pockets. As they hit that turn, it's American League, still the leader. Second on the outside, we have Proof It. American League in the turn is the leader. Proof It is challenging now. Preacher Brown is in third. In fourth, it's Racing Ray. Trailing is Burnin' Pockets. Down the backstretch, American League is the leader by a length and a half now. Moving up to challenge for second spot is Preacher Brown. Proof It is still in second spot, but on the rail we've got Preacher Brown. In the lead, coming out of the turn, into the turn, American League is the leader. In second spot, Preacher Brown. In third spot, we've got Proof It, and then we have Racing Ray and Burnin' Pockets. The race for the wire now in front of the grandstand. American League as the leader. In second spot, Preacher Brown. In third spot, Racing Ray. At the wire, American League, Preacher Brown, Racing Ray. Then it's Burnin' Pockets. Results unofficial. Please hang on to your pari-mutuel tickets until they have been declared official. Thank you.
Truly in the backyard, Britt. Ortiz, Barber Road. Let's check where Barber Road is on the odds. Right down there, 7th of the 8 at 8-1. Golden Glider is the longest shot on the board at 12-1. That's the horse that Dylan Davis is on, the leading rider at Aqueduct in the meet that just ended there a month or so ago that Kenny was talking about. I want to pivot here, guys, to a couple more horses we haven't touched on yet. Preakness returners in the 8-horse field. We have 2 of them. Third was Creative Minister and Skippy Longstocking, who placed 5th. Let's get some quick thoughts, starting with Creative Minister. Randy.
Yeah, we had an interesting conversation with trainer Ken McPeak of Creative Minister. We, the people, expected to control the early pace. A lot of the conversation.
Running time, race number 6, 1:26:32. Running time, 1:26:32. Unofficially, it shows American League is the winner. In the second spot, the number 2 horse, Preacher Brown. Third at the wire was number 4, Racing Ray, and finishing 4th, number 1, Burnin' Pockets. Unofficial.
He had the perfect trip. Skippy was a little wide in the first turn, but even Skippy made it, closer to the rail in the second turn, so it wasn't a horrible trip for him. He's still behind Creative Minister. He just didn't have the closing kick. Creative Minister finished 3rd. Skippy was 5th. Skippy's been beaten by Montgomery and Wood Memorial, and his trainer, Safi Joseph, said he simply wasn't good enough in the Preakness that day, and I think this video bears it out. And he said, realistically, he has to get better, much better, to be effective in the Belmont Stakes. But you can see these 2 horses, not a straw in their path coming down the stretch. Creative Minister is closing the gap slightly, so the 1.5 mile suggests it might be in his alley.
Derby, and Sonny Leon's life changed.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Of course your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
It's just up here on the right.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kind of got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
All the lovely ladies. The unofficial winner of race number 6, the number 3 horse, American League, owned by Colt Brown. John P. Brown is the trainer. Blanford Stewart is the jockey. And it's now official. The winner, number 3, American League.
DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. This KitchenAid mixer sold for less than $26. This iPad sold for less than $43. And this PlayStation 5 sold for less than $1.
I won these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
I got these 3 suitcases for less than $40. And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Welcome to Dancing with Myself. Celebrity creators are setting the challenges and teaching the steps.
To right and bam.
So good.
Get into an all-new Dancing with Myself. Tuesday at 10, 8 Mountain. Only on CTV. Then stream anytime. Crave has award-winning entertainment for kids of all ages. With shows and movies the whole family will love. Get together with Crave and the family-friendly Kids Collection. Subscribe now at crave.ca.
Or device near you. Let's take a peek at these odds for the Belmont Stakes. Coming up in a little more than an hour, Mo Donegal is the favorite. Mo Donegal and Nest, both trained by Todd Pletcher, sandwiching Rich Strike.
Running down the prices, American League, the number 3 horse, paid $8 even to win, $3.80 to place, $2.60 to show. Preacher Brown paid $2.80, $2.20. Racing Ray paid $3.10. The Exactor paid $22.70. The Try paid $71.70. Again, American League paid $8 even, $3.80, $2.60. Preacher Brown paid $2.80, $2.20. Racing Ray paid $3.10. A reminder, you're invited to stay around for the Belmont Stakes after, and you can pick yourself up a racing sheet on that. Don't forget next weekend, Sunday, Father's Day, there'll be a special menu, special activities. Hope to see you at the Rocky Mountain Turf Club.
So when you got your son, if you want, you can let him to be a jockey. That's what he did. That's Sonny Leon here right now. I just try to make my father's dream come true. When I won the Kentucky Derby, well, with my family, beside me, to get the trophy. My daughter, first time in racetrack, first time watching race. Wow, that was the best day of my life.
Eric Reed, the trainer, Sonny Leon, the jockey, have never been a part of the Derby, and they have won an upset, shocking Kentucky Derby.
I called my dad, my family, they were watching the race that day. They were so happy. They said, hey, man, what a feeling we got. Wow. Wow. You did the best race in your life. I remember my daddy saying, now everybody know my last name, Leon.
We know Sonny Leon now. We got to know the family there in the Derby winner's circle. Daughter trying to go 2 for 2. Her second time at the races, trying to get the win. His wife had only seen him ride in person 4 or 5 times. Was there at the Derby, and our Ahmed Fareed, who was doing the winner's circle presentation, he tells the great tale when she said, where do I go? I would say, who are you? She's like, I'm Sonny's wife. Like, oh, come here. Be a part of this. And they're a part of it again. So what was this, guys? We've talked about the analogies. To me, this is like the third-string quarterback getting a chance, winning Super Bowl MVP. Now you got to come back and do it again. That second time is always hard on the big stage. But, Jerry, it's also hard because this is literally the biggest stage for a jockey.
Yeah, and the challenge for any jockey is the massive turns here, making the decision on where to move on these turns, especially for riders shipping in. So I take it to driving analogy. A place you go every day, let's say going to work. Instinctively, you know how to do it because you do it every single day. You can have a cup of coffee and have a phone conversation and still end up at work because it's ingrained in you. You do it every day. That's the local jockeys. The ship-in jockeys is like driving to a place you've never been before. You have to really pay attention to the signs, the exits, the name of the signs. Jockeys have to pay attention to the mile markers on the inside of the track. But things happen in a race, Mike. You get shut off, you get squeezed, the horse is
And looks like we've got ourselves a special three-legged race. Caution the jockeys not to let that broomstick get caught up in those skirts. They're off. Whoops. And the winner is one of the Raging Grannies.
And he has really almost no experience here. He's run 2 races at Belmont, both this weekend. One on the
2, 3, 4 you have in here. How do you keep up with it all?
You know, I got good assistants and staff and team, so we got it all saddled. The horses look great. As you can see, none of them are favored this year, so there's some really good horses in here. Hopefully I have one of them that's good enough.
Is that a little better as far as the pressure, or do you even think like that when you don't have what would usually be at least the top 2 or 3 picks?
I'd rather have the favorites than have the pressure. So, but, you know, these are nice horses, and they all have a shot. I think it's a little bit of a wide open race, so we'll see.
How does this set up, do you think, for maybe 1 or 2 of your horses, and who do you have to beat?
Well, we had it covered a little.
The horses are now on the track for the running of race number 7, our final race of the afternoon, over a distance of about 5.5 furlongs. Number 1 is Nipawin, owned and trained by Bill C. Schmidt, Trevor Simpson in the saddle. Number 2, Big Buffy, owned by Corrine Draper, Daniel Oberholzer, the trainer. Lorena Bugeaud is doing the riding. Number 3, Who's Cheatin' Who? Jacqueline Smith, the owner-trainer. Laris Allen in the saddle. Number 4, Flea Flicker, is owned by Andre Peugeot, Nellie Peugeot, the trainer. Orlando Foster in the irons. Number 5, Minimum Noise, owned and trained by Memory McCracken, Ryan Nelson riding. Last but not least, number 6, Rising Revolution, owned by Why Not Stable and Clinton Rycroft. Clinton is the trainer. Jose Rocha doing the riding. Race number 7, over a distance about 5.5 furlongs. We've got ourselves about 7 minutes to post time. About 7 minutes. We've got the horses on the way to the starting gate for race number 7 here at the Rocky Mountain Turf Club. Post time will be approximately 2 minutes. Race number 7, over a distance about 5.5 furlongs. Post time will be approximately 2 minutes.
Standing by with the winner of another big turf stakes race in New York, Chad Brown.
All right, thanks, Mike. It is like the Chad Brown Invitational. Were you playing possum? You said you didn't have, you had long shots up there by and large, by your standards, and you come through 1-2.
At Belmont Park, leave me out at your own risk, okay? This is my turf course here, and no, credit to my staff, this horse, Manny, great ride. This horse, the turf course at Churchill that day just didn't really suit the horse, and we gave him another shot. He nearly won the Manhattan a year ago with Domestic Spending, a great horse to run him down. So we were quietly confident if he got loose, he'd be tough.
Were you surprised he got that loose?
I was, and Manny just rode a terrific race in that he slowed it down a little early. I was actually wanted him more in front. He's better when he's completely loose and not around any horses. And Manny at the after a half mile in a race, it's almost like he heard me from the stands. He just opened up, so it was great.
You rode a great race and you trained well.
The horse is now being loaded. Number 4 is in position. Number 1 horse moves in. Number 2 is loaded.
It is your turf. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to you, Mike.
All right, Kenny, thank you. You referenced the Turf Classic at Churchill Downs on Derby Day.
Here comes the 3 horse. Number 5 and 6 are in. They're at the post. They're off. Race number 7 over distance, about 5.5 furlongs. Coming down the long straight towards the grandstand in the middle of the pack. Now moving hard is Minimum Noise. As they come to the front of the grandstand, Minimum Noise is the leader. In second spot, we got ourselves Rising Revolution. Third on the rail, we've got Nipawin. As they hit the turn, Minimum Noise is the leader. In second spot, Rising Revolution. Third on the rail is Nipawin. Fourth is Flea Flicker. As they go round that turn and now heading for the backstretch, Minimum Noise is still the leader by 2.5 over Rising Revolution. Then we've got Nipawin, Flea Flicker, Big Buffy, and trailing is Big Buffy. As they go down that backstretch, it's still Minimum Noise, the leader, but being challenged now by Rising Revolution on the outside. In the turn, it's Minimum Noise and Rising Revolution. Minimum Noise, the leader, Rising Revolution second. In third spot, we've got ourselves Who's Cheatin' Who. Out of the turn now, the race for the wire, Rising Revolution takes over the lead. In second spot, we've got Minimum Noise, and moving up is Who's Cheatin' Who. A close finish, ladies and gentlemen. Please hang on to your parimutuel tickets until results have been declared official. Reminder post time tomorrow, 1:15.
Including point-by-point betting from around the world. Plus, with award-winning customer service, it's always game, set, and match.
Nope. Took it easy on you. Download the Bet Rivers Sportsbook app. It's a whole new game.
Or 1:08:39 the running time for race number 7. 1:08:39. The unofficial winner, number 6, Rising Revolution. Finishing second, the number 3 horse, Who's Cheatin' Who. Third at the wire, number 5, Minimum Noise. And finishing fourth, the number 4 horse, Flea Flicker. Results unofficial.
Manhattan at 2-1. Pretty good payout. 40-20 to win. Look at the rest of the numbers there.
And
Chad Brown, the trainer, was mentioned.
Yeah, not only did Chad run 1-2, but owners Michael Dubb and Saul Cumit of Madaket Stables also co-owned the first 2 finishers.
With Adamo finishing second, the favorite Gufo finishing third, Highland Chief fourth. So that's at 7-4-2-8 Super, where $1 turned into 2,904 of them. So that's the Manhattan. Next up, it is the Belmont Stakes. Coming up, the feature race of the day. For the better part of the last 2 decades, it's been our pleasure at NBC to bring you this race. Together, we saw Triple Crown bids come and go, saw 2 horses grab that crown as well. As our time covering this historic race comes to an end for now, a big part of our coverage over the years, the great Tom Hammond. He's here now to look back at some of our favorite moments at Big Sandy.
Results are now official. The winner, number 6, Rising Revolution. Finishing second, the number 3 horse, Who's Cheatin' Who. Third at the wire was number 5, Minimum Noise, and finishing fourth, number 4, Flea Flicker. Moving into the winner's circle, the unofficial winner, number 6, Rising Revolution. Owned by Why Not Stable in Clinton, Rycroft. Clinton is the trainer. Jose Rocha riding his 3rd winner of the afternoon. Race number 7, Rising Revolution.
As the years went on, we were reminded time and again just how darn
Here are the prices the horses paid. Number 6, Rising Revolution, paid $6.40, $2.90, $2.30. Who's Cheatin' Who paid $3 even, $2.10. Minimum Noise paid $3.50 to show. Again, Rising Revolution, $6.40 to win, $2.90 to place, $2.30 to show. Who's Cheatin' Who paid $3 even and $2.10. Minimum Noise paid $3.50 to show. The Exactor paid $5.40. The Try paid $25.30. Tomorrow, a reminder, post time 1 o'clock. We hope to see you then. And you're invited to stay around today if you like and take in the Belmont Stakes, part of the Racing Triple Crown.
We're not supposed to cheer from the booth, but that day, we couldn't help ourselves.
And Justify comes roaring home to a raucous Belmont Park.
And wouldn't you know it, just 3 years later, Justify did it again.
Justify is the 13th Triple Crown winner.
Now the talk is louder than ever that horse racing may stretch out the Triple Crown calendar, put the 3 races further apart, perhaps moving the Belmont to summertime. There are good reasons to do it, certainly, but eliminating the challenge of 3 wins in 5 weeks will undeniably alter what the test of the champion feels like. At NBC, we're proud to have told the story of this race for much of the last 21 years, and we'll always cherish the memories of what we saw, what we heard, and how it felt to be in the middle of it all.
And we'll always cherish the leadership, the words, and the brilliance of Tom Hammond. Great to hear Tom's voice on that. We thank you, Tom, for putting those memories together. You guys were sitting with Tom for so many of those moments we talked about. So what are your memories?
Well, sitting next to him when American Pharaoh crossed the finish line. 37 years of pent-up crowd frustration. Seeing one failed Triple Crown bid after another finally culminates in that win. And we were in the middle of the grandstand, our position, our set, and the crowd was so loud and so sustained. I mean, I haven't been to as many places as you have, but I've been to Arrowhead Stadium for a playoff game in CenturyLink in Seattle, the noisiest stadiums in the NFL. I'd never experienced anything like that. They had to turn our mics off because it was distorting Tom Hammond's mic with all the crowd noise when he tried to talk.
As for me, I got to unpack it in 2 different ways. As a writer, my 2 wins were very special to me and they're memorable. But as a broadcaster, I'm going to have to go with Pharaoh. And when it was apparent he was going to win halfway down the stretch, I stopped watching him and I started watching the people and the enjoyment that they got, because we have seen them come year after year hoping for a Triple Crown, and they finally got one. The place was vibrating. That's how unbelievable loud they were.
Yeah, I remember the words that Tom uttered after that happened was very special. You know, for me as a New York kid, being there when Justify won, just to hear the New York fans, even though it wasn't Pharaoh, it was the same kind of feeling to it. But I want to ask you about something Tom touched on in that piece, the Triple Crown. That's the topic right now, the spacing of the races. This is the first time in 68 years that the Derby winner didn't run in the Preakness, and the Preakness winner is skipping the Belmont. Is there an impact on the Belmont going forward if we change the spacing of the races?
Look, I know people who've been around racing a long time can have differences of opinion. I mean, Tom's got his opinion.